Hey everyone, my name is Blue Boa, and today I'm going to break down my color-based track, Aquatica. I'm going to go over how it started, how I made it, and yeah, so first thing, let's listen to it. So that's Aquatica. I'm going to try to keep this tutorial fairly simple so anybody can kind of understand it and just get a kind of feeling for how this song is made. So this entire track started actually is as a meme. I was going to go into Vital, which is a plugin that you can use to make sounds. And I just wanted to make like a short little meme, like how to make sustain bass. And the meme was gonna be like I was gonna go here and hit text to wavetable and just type in ah, and then wait for it to load. Yeah. And then I got that, and for whatever reason, I decided to make like a tiny drop out of it, or I post processed it a little bit. And then, which means like I added effects and stuff. And then if you hear this part, the main bass comes from all of this is muted. So this is like a big, this is just a big layer that I have muted, and then I rendered it for simplicity. But if I unmute this, and then I play it, you can hear. So this sound is Vital, and as you can see, it says text to wavetable, and this is literally just me going ah, and then it has some like algorithm here to adjust it, and then I made this little melody that goes blah, blah. As you can see, why I'm a producer, not a singer, something like that, and then just a bunch of effects. Vocodex and Fruity Convolver is carrying this track kind of, so if I take all the effects off, you can hear how lame it sounds. And then to make this kind of a underwatery sound, I just applied a shit ton of random samples. This one is kind of just for enthusiasm on the last, well, you know what I mean, on some parts of the melody. Then there's this bass loop that I cut up to follow it, and then later I just play the full bass loop. Also, all of these automations are just LFO tool to I'm automating like the rate of LFO tool so that it follows the da 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 that kind of rhythm. I have a pretty phasey ARP here. Got a Reese, random noise, those kind of layers. Yeah, and then I rendered all of this and then I put it up here. So let me mute all of this. The shortcut to mute things is Alt-M, by the way. And if you want to unmute, it's Alt-Shift-M, so just easy. And then that goes here, which is half of the sound. This is the Skybreak X Sharks Rushdown competition. So this is the bass loop from that. And then them layered together makes a full bass sound. I also have a sub that I'm automating the volume. Yeah, this is pretty easy sub. I think it's just a NASCO preset. I actually made this. So those are the basses in the song. The main thing here is this underwater piano that I made, and it's this is just like a chord. This is just the chord progression that was given in the competition. And I just sound designed. I processed the piano to make it sound very underwatery, which sounds like this without any effects. So with effects, I'll show you what I did here. So first I have this phaser plugin, which is giving it some subtle underwateriness. And then the main thing is vocodex with these settings with the order all the way up. This is with all the way down. And then a pretty low bandwidth, 74 bands, just making it sound very like compressed and removing a lot of the noise. So the next effect that we have here is crystallizer, which is a granular echo synthesizer effect. What it does is just it gives weird it makes weird echoes. So it goes from that to that. And if I turn the wet, you'll see what it's adding to the sound. So that's what it's adding. Which you hear a lot in kind of underwatery settings like Subnautica, Finding Dory, Nemo. You hear a lot of granular soundscapes, which are just like experimental ambient kind of things. So I had that around here. That's what that sounds like. And then I just have OTT, 20% full width, a little bit of downward compression. EQ, delay is important, and some reverb, quite a bit of reverb actually. So that's the main piano sound. It sounds awesome and I love it. And then I have a Dory lead. So what this is, it's if you've ever listened to the Finding Dory soundtrack, here, let me plop it in here. Okay, I found it. So I'm just gonna pull it up on a YouTube video off screen, but you can hear there's a very signature sounding lead here. It's kind of like a synth, kind of like a vocal thing. I tried to recreate it for the song because I thought it sounded cool. And then it became kind of the lead for the song. I have it, this is all rendered out, but here's one instance where it's a serum. Just basic shapes with a sync, a little bit of effects, sound geyser, which I like to put on leads. Vibrato, you know how it be. This is just a little. This is a separate layer to make it a different volume, and a little bit less post processing. There's no like granular echo here. Kind of keep it simple. And all throughout the sound, I have random pads that I've made. This is a choir that has been processed. And then I also have, this is going throughout the whole song actually, random water sound effects that have been reverbed. Throughout the song, I do a lot of I record stuff into Edison, and then I use the blur tool to create kind of like a pad of it. Let's see where else I can find that. Okay, I guess here. This is the violins, and they have been put in the blur tool. So we've got our main bass, we've got our piano going. Drums are pretty simple. To get that future rhythm sharks kind of snare sound, I added this snare tail. For the breakdown, oops. We go into this kind of ambient with this kind of, if I remove the violins, we've got this bass line, kind of not like a bass, but like a background kind of chord progression. This is also just a sample off of Splice, which I don't usually use. I like to use contact libraries, but it sounded fine. And then here we have some violins that I recorded, and then I pan them around so they sound very ambient. Without any effects, they sound really bad. Here, I'll play it. This was before I got like a good mic, so this is just like recorded into a Blue Yeti. You can see how noisy it is. So if I pan them back, and I turn the effects back on. So the effects, what's going on here? In the center one, we have just a little bit of chorus and then a stereo expander. I don't know why. And then we have a little bit of EQ, cutting the lows and making it a little bit softer. OTT, delay. I used a lot of the Hala delay. I really like it. Some reverb. More reverb. A filter so that it filters in. Sorry for the choppiness, but some resonances that I cut out. You can hear it's very resonant in some spaces. It's just good to have. And then I control the volume. So that's it. I have been playing violin for 10 years, so that's where this comes from. Then I also have some bass. Kind of pulsing. Got some random drums. Oh yeah, and throughout the entirety of the song, you have Eliminate saying darkness. Darkness. I don't know why. It's very subtle. I can probably make it much louder, and you'll be able to hear it. I don't know why. Anyway, back into the build-up. Throughout both build-ups, you have a little bit of the ARP going upwards along with the shark loop. You know how it be. Steel drums too. And a bunch of just random samples. This actually has been recorded out of contact. Just for a little bit of background, we have this fake out thing. Come. Where it gets faster and then it pans left and right. Right, okay. And then this part of the song, I take what I did is I took the main bass from here and then I just chopped it up into a different rhythm here. So I gave it like a new flow, you know. And then I made a new drum groove to match that. As opposed to the very simple. So it's very simple. Just chopped it up. A little bit of filtering. Granular. This is from my private sample library. And then we have this cool little melodic bass here that I called the talk box. So if I mute stuff, you'll be able to hear it. So what this is, it's just Serum that's been post-processed the fuck out of. So if I take off all the processing, it sounds like that. Again, it's just 2 saw waves and a square wave. Distortion has a lot of filtering. So formant filtering over here, and then more EQ filtering, and then I have some sound godizer, OTT, and then a lot of vocodex, which is what's giving that vowel-y sound. Some Saturn, and then I have 2 dispersers. We've got the dick and the balls. Just random. I don't even remember putting them like that, but you know, it's the Blue Bulb way to meme everything. More delay reverb, give it a bigger sense of space. All right, and then yeah, and it's just layered with this very simple sound, just 2 saw. Oh wow, that's a lot more complex than it can be. It's just a saw wave with some noise, and it has a lot of distortion. Oh yeah. So throughout the song we have like these little licks. Come here. So in the first drop, which is the Dory lead, the little piano, and a music box all together, which really accentuates the flow of the song. Here I had like a little stutter. Something that Sharks does a lot too, I've noticed in his songs. Here I have this stutter. I recorded the entire thing, and then I just added the stutter independently. But I took that sample, and then I chopped it up and made a little groove out of it. And then it goes back into like the regular melody. Which adds so much to the song, because this is how it sounds without it. And with it. Okay, and then that brings us to the outro of the song. Throughout the last drop, I have these, again, some violin solos, which have been layered upon layered upon. This is kind of like a little orchestra I made of myself. So without any like, this is just what they sound like by themselves. Or one sounds like without it by itself. You know, very dry, very lame. But then all together it sounds pretty good with the effects. So it's not much, just OTT, chorus, reverb, it's mostly that. And then a little bit of echo in some places. And this is a very ambient outro. You've got all of everything from the start. You've got this pad, this choir that has been stretched and then put in a granulizer. You've got the violins, the ambient solos. You've got a hit magic chimes. eliminate the water sounds, everything. And it all comes together into this outro. Yeah. So that's Aquatica. If you wanted to know how I mastered this song, I didn't. But that's Aquatica. If you like this video, please subscribe so I can feed my children and also watch more of my other videos. So peace.
Human dubstep. What?